All right. Well, I'm joined now with Owen Hanson from California Ice Protein. And Owen, tell me a little bit about your story and the product that's making its way here to Middle Tennessee this week.
Yeah, this idea I had, it's a story of second chance. I went away unfortunately for 10 years, and while incarcerated I developed this product inside a prison cell, and we used to make protein ice cream there as our hustle. And we would literally make it in a mop bucket. We'd shake up these protein shakes and we'd freeze them with rock salt. And when I started doing it, I just started like putting slices of banana, peanut butter, and I'd freeze it up and I'd pass it out to my workout crew, and they're like, "Man, this is really good. You should do this on the street." I'm like, "Man, no one's going to buy protein ice cream." And then fast forward, I get out literally in 2024. I'm put in a halfway house for 16 months, and I start doing some research, and nobody has protein ice cream. I'm like, "Wow, maybe this is something special that I could do." And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to tell the story. It's going to be a second chance story, a story of redemption. And I started literally going to ice cream manufacturer to manufacturer, and I finally found one that loved my story. And he's like, "Man, I want to be part of this." He read my book, The California Kid, and he watched the docu series, and he's like, "Man, this is awesome." And we started creating this unique blend of protein ice cream with probiotics, a little gluten, like a gluten-free protein, natural fruits, no added sugar. We use monk fruit as our sweetener. So it's been a wild ride, and we're in over 300 locations nationwide. We ship direct to consumer. And this week we are going to be launching in 11 stores in Tennessee, and I'm looking forward to it.
And whenever you're incarcerated and you're making protein ice cream, was this you trying to stick with you were an athlete, and was it you trying to stay on that wellness train while serving your time? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, as an athlete, you're always looking for the next nutrition, trick, right? And in prison, you don't really have much as far as nutrition goes. You're lucky to get some mackerel or some tuna packs as your protein. And I remember I was like, man, I'm so tired of eating fish every day. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna change it up. I gotta start using these protein shakes and start drinking these. And I literally started making protein shakes in an empty peanut butter jar, and I dumped non-fat milk and the protein powder that they served on the commissary. And I would literally just shake it up and I would refrigerate it in my mop bucket with ice. That was like a refrigeration. And I was like, okay, this is good. And then one day we ran out of ice, and my cellmate's like, "Hey, we're out of ice," and he's like, "We have like 2 inches left." I'm like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do?" He says, "Don't worry, we'll throw some salt on there," and he says the salt will make it cold. And I was like, "All right, cool, do that." So I went and worked out with my crew, and I came back and I grabbed my shake to drink it, and it's rock hard. And I'm like, "Dude, it's rock hard." He's like, "Dude, just eat it. It's gonna be like ice cream." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like my new, guilty, innocent ice cream, right?" And I remember I was like, you know what, I'm going to make this my hustle. And as being a businessman and entrepreneur my whole life, I'm like, you know what, this is going to keep me occupied. I was ended up getting my master's degree while incarcerated, and I was like, I need something to do in here. I'm going stir crazy. And so I literally started selling these protein ice creams throughout the compound. And one Super Bowl Sunday, I'll never forget it. I sold 50 ice cream at $15 a jar, and people are joking. They're like, "Man, you made more money than the correctional officers today."
Is that when you knew that you were onto something and this vision could turn into something greater?
Yeah, no doubt. I was like, man, if people really like it in here, imagine, let's see if they like it on the outside. And I remember we did the first fitness expo in 2024, and I was living in the halfway house, and I went to the fitness expo, and I had these like prototype bars, and I'm passing them out. Next thing you know, we have a booth, and there's like 50 people in line wanting to try this protein ice cream, because there's nobody that does a protein ice cream on a stick, right? And I was like, okay, that was the proof of concept right there. Now let's start raising some capital and put together a team, and that's what we did.
Wow, and what separates your ice cream from any other ice creams on the market that, are a little bit better than just the sugary, more traditional ice cream?
So your traditional ice cream has a bunch of fat, a bunch of carbs, a bunch of sugar. Our bars, our 4 ounce bar has 20 grams of protein, um, no added sugar, gluten free. our fat content's under 10 grams. It's like a protein shake on a stick, I tell people. And they actually taste good. It actually tastes like ice cream. And that's the difference between a lot of these healthier brands that are out there. There's a company called Protein Pints and Yazo, and they just don't taste like ice cream. And that was one of my key, features. I said, if we're gonna make this, we got to make sure it tastes good because you don't want to be the next Halo Top or something that just doesn't taste good.
That's true. And protein snacks, there's so many alternatives. There's protein like juices now, protein crackers, and a lot of them I found they have sort of a similar aftertaste too. It's probably really difficult to formulate it without it being obvious that it's a protein snack.
Yeah, it took me literally a year of R&D living in the halfway house, going back and forth to the ice cream manufacturer to get that chalky taste out of the ice cream. And it was just a lot of balancing, figuring out how much dairy I need, how much Greek yogurt. I mean, I was like playing with it for a long time, and then it finally hit. I was like, okay, 20 grams of protein is the perfect amount where I can keep the chalky taste out and make it still taste like ice cream.
And coming up with this dream and working towards something while in prison, did this whole vision give you something did it motivate you to really transform and change your life once you got out?
Yeah, no doubt. You get out and you're like, okay, I want to show the world that, hey, I can do this same type of hustle legally with a better product, right? I tell people from putting bad things on the streets to now healthy treats. And that's kind of been my motto. Like yeah, I messed up and everyone deserves a second chance in life. And I paid the price and I did, 10 years of incarceration. But at the end of the day, I'm still a good person and everyone's loving the ice cream.
And your story has touched a lot of people through this new documentary. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg ended up doing a docu-series, a three-part docu-series on Amazon Prime. It's actually called Cocaine Quarterback. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. They'll have to watch it, but they started this documentary literally in 2020 while I was in federal prison, and when I got released in 2025, they finally released a docu-series, and it's been top five on Amazon for the last 2 months.
And how does it feel knowing that it took a while to really, serve your time and then get out? And it's been a process. How does it feel looking back on that?
You look back and you realize you can't cut corners in life because if you cut corners, you end up where I ended up in federal prison. So I tell people now, I speak to the youth, I speak to law enforcement, and I tell them, listen, slow and steady wins the race. You want to be that turtle, not the hare, not that rabbit. And if you're slow and steady and you don't cut corners in life, you'll do better in the long run.
For sure. Yeah. Anyone who is facing similar obstacles that you were, let's say 10 years ago, what would you like to tell them?
Just be yourself. I tell people if, I was, this kid trying to fit in to I went to the University of Southern California, coming from a blue collar family, and everyone around me has, the American Express black cars and the Mercedes. I'm like, okay, how am I going to fit in? And trying to fit in got me in trouble and got me where I ended up in prison. And, if you just be yourself, it's a better way of living and you'll feel better at the end of the day.
For sure. And so excited to try the ice cream. You guys will be out in Murfreesboro actually handing out samples. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Nutrition Factory, which has the biggest superstore in the world. They have 8,000 square feet, $2 million in inventory. And I'm flying out actually tomorrow to do some press. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be giving away uh, probably around 150, 200 ice cream bars if anyone brings up the special word Cali Kid, which is obviously the name of the book that they wrote about my life story, the California Kid. So if they mention Cali Kid, we're going to give them a free ice cream bar. And on Friday we have two pallets, 10,000 ice cream bars that are arriving in Tennessee. And Nutrition Factory has 11 locations in Tennessee and one in Alabama. No, one in Kentucky. Sorry. So we'll have ice cream throughout Tennessee in 11 locations, and we're really excited to work with Mike over at the Nutrition Factory. And we can't wait to bring that California vibe to Tennessee.
Yeah, same here. We can't wait to experience it. And you guys have already launched in other regions, other cities. How has the response been so far?
We can't keep up with our demand. We're selling this stuff like hotcakes. Literally, we're in Miami, New York, California, Arizona, Nevada, and it seems like every day we're getting, 5 to 10 orders, people ordering direct to consumer, and then a lot of nutrition stores and gyms have been ordering because we provide the freezer free of charge as long as they buy a certain amount of ice cream bars from us. So it's been really great. And we have 320 freezers that arrive next week, and we're going to be distributing to more shops throughout the United States.
Well, that's really exciting. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that we didn't have a chance to discuss that you wanted to bring up?
No, I think that's it, Joel. And I look forward to meeting anyone from Tennessee, and I'll be at the Nutrition Factory from 12:30 to 2 at that Superstore location on Wednesday.
Well, thank you so much and safe travels.
Thanks, Joel. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.